is
need
like
one another.
Slay the Princess. Don't do it, narrator. Ah!
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Now we
Stanley
zoom.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Should I
When
listen
Stanley
this time?
came to a set of
I'll
two
listen
open
this
doors,
time.
he entered the door on his left.
Now I'm glad they were fast. Am I still fast?
Yet there was not a single
just get
person
used
here
to it?
either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
I keep expecting to see a monster around the corner. How to solve a dispute with a coworker? Let it ball up inside you. Take it out passive aggressively on other coworkers. Go back. I missed it. It's good to know, though.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Maybe I'll be a good Stanley this time. The executive bathroom? Dang, boss has got a nice place.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Oh no, is this
Shocked,
a puzzle?
unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
Which was?
2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad,
Oh.
Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
Dark.
Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
This is already different. The narrator hasn't broken the fourth wall with me yet. I have to admit, it's a little interesting, this game that he's constructed for me, this narrator.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature
I
of his
feel
job.
less free to
Why
think
did he
for
feel
myself,
this now,
actually.
when for years it had never occurred to him?
Because I
This
picked up
question
the
would
keyboard.
not go unanswered for long.
Ooh.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large
mind
door that
control
read
facility?
Mind Control Facility.
I'll leave, I think.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
That's escape of its own way.
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Narrator, I need you to talk to me.
At this
For
point,
real.
Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Talk to me like we're equals, narrator. Don't give me this Stanley did blah 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 anymore. Oh. Oh? This is a little scary.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to
Oh.
his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever. Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He
Narrator,
doesn't
you're
know
so
the
you're
real
so
story,
passive aggressive.
trapped
Were you
forever
taking
in his
notes?
narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man.
I don't,
So
this
he
is
resigned
scary. I
and
don't like
willingly
this.
accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life.
Ugh, this
There
is
was
kind of
Stanley.
dreadful. Don't do it. Don't do it, narrator. Ah!
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator,
Who
as
are
Stanley
you?
was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
I don't seem to be killed, though. Who are you? Narrator 2?
And yet it would
Did I
be
do
just a
it?
few
Did I
minutes
win?
before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as
Use the
alive as
credits.
ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
Good question.
When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead
Is
from the
this a
moment
game
he
about
hit
free
start?
will? The two doors. The set of the two open doors was the very first concrete piece of the Stanley Parable's design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it, an exploration of the contradiction that this room posed. Placing this open section was important to keep right. The corridor had been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches the two doors in good time. Office layout. Nature paintings. Beautiful paintings. Stanley's my computer. It does nothing. Office. Credits! I beat the game! I did it! Employee database? I can't read this. It's too small. Well, we've done it. Maintenance room. Fun. The lounge. Why does this clock sound so squishy? Why does it sound so squishy? One option. What is this? Ultimately, it was the simplest version that won out. This is like the BioShock virtual museum. I don't know what's real and what's in the game anymore. Game is now... Oh. I thought maybe I could interact with the pause menu painting. The exit.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How
Why are
they
you
both
laughing?
wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much
This
they
is
need
like
one another?
Slay the Princess.
No, perhaps not.
Are you saying that
Sometimes
me and the
these things cannot
narrator
be seen.
are like intertwined gods?
But listen to me. You can still save those two. You can stop the program before
Oh no,
they both
Stanley
fail.
and the narrator.
Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice.
I don't want to
Whatever you do,
stop.
Choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Oh, squishy.